as Cam Newton leads the Carolina offense onto the field.
And you heard Tony at the top of the broadcast talk about a commitment to the run, and I hope what we see in the running game is more traditional run. You know, they've kind of grown with this option. They've thrown a lot of things. One of the things that offensive coordinator Rob Chudzinski talked to us about was kind of lessening the amount of volume of the playbook for Cam Newton.
That run sets that pass up for him with play action.
Panthers start with two tight ends. Jonathan Stewart in the backfield. He takes the handoff from Newton and works his way up to the 23-yard line. Gain of 3 for Stewart. Panthers ranked 24th offensively.
And it's been a challenge for him with the guys up front. You know, last season only 3 different starting fives. They're on their 5th one already this season, so that lack of continuity definitely impacts these guys. Jonathan Stewart is going to get more carries today. It's going to be more of a downhill power running game. Look to see some 2 tight end formations a lot in personnel groups during the course of the game for Carolina as well.
They had 2 tights in on the first play from scrimmage. Newton's pass gets rounded at the line. 3rd down and 7 coming up.
One of the little things that this Bears defense does very well, they get their hands and deflect passes. They're very athletic. Look at Brian Urlacher watching the eyes of Cam Newton, getting into the throwing lane, elevating, giving that defense an opportunity for a takeaway.
Empty backfield, 3rd down and 7. Panthers must get to the 30. Newton with time, he throws and the catch is made for a 1st down. Wide open, Brandon LaFell, 18-yard pass play.
That's well done by Carolina right there. You're going to have opportunities to throw the ball down the field. If you can block that front 4 and control it, there's some windows down there in the zone defense that Chicago plays, but you've got to give the quarterback time.
So a new set of downs for Carolina. Stewart in the backfield along with the fullback, Mike Tolbert. Off the play action. Newton in trouble, able to get rid of it. And the pass is incomplete. It was caught out of bounds by the former Bear, 1st-round draft pick back in 07, Greg Olsen.
There's 88 Greg Olsen, gets a good release, working against Nick Roach. Now this is ad-libbed here. Just couldn't get that 2nd foot down in time to stay in bounds.
Well, he had Nate Collins, nice move right in Cam Newton's face. Makes Cam Newton move out of the pocket, and I think it affected the throw.
Collins active goose for the first time this season, number 93. Bunch formation to the left. 2nd and 10, it's Stewart. Tried to cut to the outside, but Charles Tillman was right there. The reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. In fact, he's won it 2 of the last 3 weeks for the 6th-ranked Bears defense.
Here's the reason this group is playing so well. Their front is having an outstanding season. Not just those 4, but the rotation that they're able to throw. There's your stars of the defense, Briggs and Urlacher. Keep your eyes on Nick Roach. He's playing well this season, allowing some things to happen. And one of the big things on the outside or the back end, not just the corners, but Major Wright and Chris Conte have played well all season.
Panthers must get to midfield. Newton fires, and Steve Smith able to make the catch. Looked like Tim Jennings got a piece of it, and then Smith makes the catch, but it's just shy of the marker.
And this is the matchup we're going to see during the course of the day. It's going to be Tim Jennings on Steve Smith. Now, we saw what Charles Tillman did to Calvin Johnson in that last game. That's great concentration by Steve Smith there, but great coverage by Tim Jennings. They like that matchup. Chicago likes the matchup.
But need to do more.
They do, and they've got some talent here. Jay Cutler, yeah, he can throw it as well as anybody in the league. Brandon Marshall was a huge addition. I'm just waiting for this offense to hit their stride.
2 tight ends set on 1st down. Off the fake to Matt Forte, a flag as Cutler is sacked by Greg Hardy.
Dawkins took him down. He just jumped right back up. He's a tough man, Jake.
Hands it off to Matt Forte, who turns the corner. it out to the 33-yard line. Luke Kuechly, the tackle gain of 7.
Now let's go back and take a look at this hit. I mean, Ndamukong Suh, a little bit of professional wrestling right there. Lassos him and gets the leg out, takes his feet out, and slams him.
Yeah, it looks like a...
But he said so himself, you know, that wasn't a dirty hit. I was outside the pocket. Football's football. And like you said, Tony, popped up, you know, missed a couple of snaps here and there during the game, but came back and played. I don't think there's any question that Jay Cutler is a tough guy.
Not at all.
Good, get it tonight! Good, good. Hey, ready? What is that?
Again, 2 tight ends. 2nd down and 4. As Cutler picks up a 1st down. The catch by Brandon Marshall out of the 41. And then he has words with Captain Munnerlyn.
Well, for the Chicago offense to take that next step, it's going to be about these guys again. We talked about it with Carolina, but they've solidified this group. Feel good about them. Shiloh Rachel, Lance Lewis, some tough guys there at the guard spot. But it's all about the running game. Matt Forte is going to open everything else up. Brandon Marshall gives them the best receiver that I think the Bears have had in quite some time, maybe in the history of their franchise on the outside.
No doubt about it. Another big run by Forte. Finally brought down by Haruki Nakamura. Forte to midfield, gain of 8. Carolina's defensive unit ranked 20th in the league.
Yeah, but very surprising. You know, last year they were the issue. The offense was having a great season. The defense struggled, and they've taken some good steps this year. They've played well enough for Carolina to win some games, and they got to just continue, just keep chopping, keep playing hard. Eventually the breaks are going to start to go their way.
Without 2 key starters on defense, John Beeson and Chris Gamble.
180!
2nd down and 2.
What is that?
Play action. Cutler going deep from Marshall. And it is picked off by Josh Norman, the rookie out of Coastal Carolina. His first NFL pick.
Marshall, a favorable odd.
A little bit underthrown, too.
Newton out of the shotgun on 2nd down. Hands it off to Stewart. And it's Urlacher bringing down Jonathan Stewart, gain of 2. So 3rd down and 8 upcoming for Carolina.
Carolina striking that balance right there, and you've got to stay with it. You got 4 carries. You've only got 3 yards right now, but I agree with Tony. You got to come out here and establish that run. Let that offensive line fire off the football.
3rd down and 8.
Carolina can't do something stupid right here. If it's not there, Cam's got to get rid of it.
Newton from the end zone throws it. Stewart. And Stewart out across the 15 has a Panthers 1st down.
Well, this part of the field, you know, it is critical, and you've got to make sure you're sound with everything you're doing. Here's some protection first. They're bringing their 4 guys. Cam does a good job staying in that pocket as everything starts to collapse on him. Checks the ball down. You're right, Tony. If it's not there, don't try and force it. I thought he did a nice job last week against Dallas, hitting some of his checkdowns in shorter routes, and that's another good job right there.
3 wide receivers set. Tolbert in the backfield. This is the fullback, Mike Tolbert, former San Diego Charger, on the inside handoff. And he gains 4 out to the 20-yard line. We spoke with left tackle Jordan Gross yesterday. He told us Tolbert's old school.
Every fullback is.
That guy, I mean, look at the size of him. I mean, you talk about somebody that's going to be hard to get down to his pad level. Mike Tolbert is built. He's built perfect to be able to get in there and get those tough yards. Now, they haven't got the production out of Mike Tolbert, D'Angelo Williams, and Jonathan Stewart that they were anticipating. They're working with some different things, but they've got to get those guys going.
We have not yet seen Williams on the field today. It's been Stewart and now Tolbert. Off the fake to Tolbert. Newton throws. He was looking for Steve Smith with Tim Jennings on the coverage, and there is a late flag. 3rd down and 6. Panthers must get to the 26-yard line. Newton in trouble. Julius Peppers, the former Panther. It's his first sack in 3 career games against Carolina.
And that is a surge by a defensive line.
They got there with only 3, Tony.
Yeah, not just one guy. Watch these guys here on the left-hand side. Now, they brought 4, and then they dropped the guy out on a little bit of a, check out that screen pass, but what penetration. It's unbelievable. Affecting some of those throws. We'll keep an eye on that.
Great imagery. Great imagery there, Tony.
Not sure I've ever heard that one.
Keeping it real, guys.
During a football telecast, here's Matt Forte. First down and more. Nakamura makes the tackle at the 33-yard line. Matt Forte has had some huge career games against the Panthers. Picks up 16.
Well, we've been talking a lot about Brandon Marshall as a receiver. Watch this on the outside against Josh Norman. He sees it coming to him. He puts himself in a position where if the run breaks to his side, he can use the techniques without getting a penalty. If you're going to have big runs, you got to have receivers committed to blocking downfield.
From the Panthers 33. Cutler fires, caught by Marshall for another Bears first down. 18-yard connection.
There's the other part. I just think he can become a matchup nightmare with his size. And watch how strong he is at the point of the catch. Josh Norman not in bad position. Look at those hands. He just keeps it off his body for a while, too. Come on, try and knock this thing out.
His 43rd reception leads the Bears. From the 15. Cutler swings it out to Forte. And he's chased out of bounds by Thomas Davis.
Little delay route there by Brandon Marshall. Stood on the line of scrimmage for a little while, then slowly leaked out. Changing it up a little bit there.
Bears in the red zone, only 2 touchdowns and 7 possessions over the last 3 games. 3 wide receivers set. Second down and 8 from the Carolina 13. It's Forte up the middle. Forte into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago Bears.
Well, if you want to cure your red zone ills, just start running the football effectively in the red zone. This is what you have to be able to do. There's going to be a trap. Left tackle is going to come out, pull down in here, kick out. You got your linebacker there. Good job by Roberto Garza getting up onto Luke Kuechly, the middle linebacker. Well blocked.
Watching the line play. 7-0 Chicago. Newton fakes the inside handoff to Stewart. Now throws it. It's LaFell wide open, and he's taking it all the way towards you, Goose, inside the 20 and tackled at the 17. You had a bird's eye view.
All the action in the backfield caught the attention of the safeties, and they got caught flat-footed. Look at Chris Conte, 47, going to the outside. Loses sight of Brandon LaFell coming right down the middle, right to the area that he just left. Watch all this you got to keep track of in the backfield. Little zone read, keep, pop up, hit the post out of the slot.
62 yards. So now the Panthers in the red zone from the Bears. 18 at Stewart. Gets away from Urlacher. And there is a flag. Beat the Tampa Bay Bucks. 1st and 20 following the penalty. Called on Byers making his first NFL start. Newton to the outside and Stewart. Jonathan Stewart knocked out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Gain of 5.
That's a good quick decision by Cam Newton right there. If you've got your back in the flat, take it as quickly as you can. 5 of 8, 104 yards. That big pass to Brandon LaFell. Off to a good start right here. Making some good decisions, good quick decisions.
We have not yet seen Newton run with the football. He's the Panthers' leading rusher this season. He's led Carolina in 4 of his 6 games. 2nd and 15. Newton throws, and that was intended for Smith.
Well, Cam Newton is standing in the pocket. getting pressure, and he's getting rid of that ball early. See Steve Smith right here, wide open. Take a look at the pressure right here from this defense. And they're getting to him a little bit. Cam's doing a good job of standing in the pocket, getting the ball downfield. He just got to get a little bit more on target.
Might be starting to affect that clock in his head, Tony. They're getting there quick.
Yeah, he is releasing a little bit early.
3rd down and 15. Panthers must get to the 8. Greg Olsen, the ex-Bear, brought down at the 16-yard line. So terrific field position for the Bears once again. Forte stays on his feet and then is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Under 2 minutes remaining, first quarter here in Chicago. Matt Forte with the game's first touchdown, averaging just under 9 yards per carry.
Well, he's dangerous. He's the guy you've got to stop. And you know, Carolina knows it. We talked with Sean McDermott, and he said, listen, you know, they've got Jay Cutler, they've got Brandon Marshall. They're getting better in that passing game. But when you play Chicago, you've got to stop Matt Forte.
And the Panthers know they've tried. His 2 biggest games in his career have come against Carolina, 205 and 166 on the ground. Cutler can't find anyone. And again, it is Greg Hardy. It's his 2nd sack today. And his 4th of the season.
They talk about Greg Hardy, and they feel that Greg Hardy has no idea how good he can be. And one of the things that they challenge him to do week in and week out is to become more consistent. They say he is so athletic. This guy is a gunner on the punt team. I mean, that's how athletic he is. And they said if he could just get that through his head, he could be unblockable at times. And we've seen that side of him on 2 plays here in the early parts of this game.
He's been an enigma, but a huge start today for Hardy. 3rd down and 21. Butler in trouble, loses the football, and the Panthers, looks like the Panthers have recovered. Frank Alexander, the rookie out of Oklahoma, comes up with the football. It is the 2nd Chicago Bears turnover.
Cam Newton shifted way out to the left.
D'Angelo Williams takes the snap out of the Wildcat. First time he has touched the ball today, and Williams takes it inside the 10, down to the 9. Bit of a role reversal. Panthers with 3 sacks, and they have forced 2 Chicago turnovers. 2nd and 3 from the Bears' 9. Newton fires. Pass intended for Lewis Murphy. Charles Tillman on the coverage. Carolina, 3rd down and 3 from the Chicago 9. Newton looking, takes off, has a first down, loses the football in the end zone. Lewis Murphy at the bottom of the pile. The officials will try and sort things out.
The Bears generated 3 red zone turnovers against Detroit last week.
Looks like Carolina recovered.
This is huge at the bottom of that pile. Huge.
Touchdown, Panthers. But now the Bears start from their own 23-yard line as Michael Bush takes it up the middle. His first carry, gain of 4, out to the 27. So Jay Cutler and the Bears offense turned the ball over twice in the first quarter. Cutler sacked 3 times. 3rd sack, forced fumble, leading to the Panthers scoring drive.
And you can see the great field position that the defense gave him. Gave him 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line with that fumble.
Second down and 6 as the Bears keep it on the ground. Again, it is Bush, Frank Alexander. And on the tackle for Carolina, gain of just 1, so a 3rd down and 7 coming up.
Tell you what, that front 7 for Carolina really doing a good job of identifying run and pass. You know, when it's run, they're all on the same level. They're building a wall up there. They're calling things out. They're communicating. Linebackers are talking to defensive linemen. You see them right there in the background. That's what defense is all about, communicate.
Butler stumbles, down he goes. For the 4th time today, it is Dwan Edwards, along with Frank Alexander. 4th sack for the Carolina Panthers defense.
Now let's give that one to Frank Alexander, because he's the one that's going to force Jay Cutler to step up. And when he steps up, there's Dwan Edwards.
4 sacks of Cutler. Panthers start from their own 29-yard line, and Stewart looks for running room, and then he is wrapped up by a trio of Bears. Urlacher leading the way.
Nowhere to go. Great team defense, and that's the thing about the Chicago Bears. And you do have stars on this defense. You have Julius Peppers, and you have Brian Urlacher, and you have Charles Tillman. You've got some big names on that defense, but there are no egos. These guys play as good as an 11-man unit as anybody in the NFL.
They run to the ball. They absolutely do. One thing Carolina can't do is go and give up on the run. They need to keep that run going and try to, chew away at it a little bit.
Stewart, 5 carries, only 1 yard. Newton on 2nd and 12, sets up the screen, gets the ball into the hands of Stewart, and he takes it out to the 36, 3 yards shy of the marker. Time for another game break with Kirk.
Well, after the Redskins scored, the Steelers answered right back. Next drive, Ben Roethlisberger hooking up with tight end Heath Miller, his league-leading for a tight end, 6th touchdown reception, and they're up 17-6 midway through the 2nd quarter. Can he move some bills?
Man, that is a pregame show. We're not kidding. Those are some ugly uniforms.
It's like a bunch of bumblebees running around, man.
They said the Three Stooges.
Bears wearing their throwback uniforms today.
They don't look like Curly, Larry, and Ben, though.
Newton on 3rd and 3, and the catch is made for a 1st down by Steve Smith. He had Tim Jennings all over him.
Tight coverage, and that's the matchup they like. And Steve Smith has had some good games against the Chicago Bears defense.
Huge games.
And it's interesting, he's different than Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson's a big physical guy that stretches the field. Steve Smith, the ultimate competitor, shorter, stockier. He's going to be able to get in and out of his breaks. Exactly. And so, Lovie Smith, felt, I think that Tim Jennings matches up better against Steve Smith than Charles Tillman.
2 receptions for Smith today. On 1st down, Newton with loads of time, and that pass intended for Murphy, and a late flag.
You don't see that with the Bears defense. That's not smart football. They usually play smart football. There's Steve Smith.
Do we miss Voisters, too?
Chris Conti had the flag picked up on him.
But now 2nd and 10. Stewart in the backfield, along with Tolbert. But Tolbert leading the way. Stewart attempts to turn the corner, and he is forced out of bounds. Short gain.
And there again, that's that team defense. I mean, Jonathan Stewart is running left, and he's waiting for that running lane to open up. But everybody on that Chicago defense maintaining their gap. They really give him nowhere to go, push him all the way to the sidelines till he's out of bounds.
3rd down and 9. Panthers must get to the Bears 46. 3 receiver set. Newton clapping, calling for the snap. Now he fires downfield, too far for Smith. There is a marker down at the Chicago 36. Two tight ends for the Panthers. Newton on 1st down fires. Some miscommunication on that one with Smith.
Well, again, the coverage that the Bears have decided to put against Steve Smith today, going with Tim Jennings instead of Charles Tillman. We'll just show you a little tell of the tape right here. You see the size of Charles Tillman, and that was the matchup against Calvin Johnson, to match size with size. But when you've got Steve Smith, you've got a different type of challenge. And Tim Jennings fits that bill a little bit better, being able to get in and out of those breaks. different routes by Steve Smith. He's still going to go vertical. You saw it on that illegal contact. He still has breakaway speed to get over the top at this stage of his career.
Bears held Calvin Johnson in check on Monday night. Inside handoff to Jonathan Stewart, his best run today. Brought down at the 41-yard line, a gain of 9, a yard shy of the marker.
Just a simple inside draw right here. Good blocking by the Carolina front. Greg Olsen coming in and getting Brian Urlacher sealed from the inside.
Now 3rd down and 1 as the Panthers look to keep this drive alive. Carolina 4 for 7 on 3rd down today. Newton hands it off to Stewart. Lance Briggs with the initial penetration. It will depend on the spot.
I know, I would like to have seen them go under center, bring in Mike Tolbert and run some power football in this situation. When you're in shotgun, all the offensive linemen for the Carolina Panthers were in a 2-point stance. That's a tough job to ask them to block the front of the Chicago Bears out of a 2-point stance in a short yardage situation.
Just short.
Big decision for Ron Rivera right here.
Newton heading back out onto the field.
And they've had 2 situations like this in Atlanta. They decided not to go for it. Against Dallas last week, they decided to go for it on a 4th down. You can see right there, 0 for 5 this season.
He's going under center this time, looks like.
Newton on the steep. And Cam Newton picks up a Panthers 1st down. So Carolina converts for the first time this season after going 0 for 5 on 4th down.
And this is tough right here because you've got Jeff Hangartner, who's playing his 2nd game at center since Ryan Khalil's gone out, and then you've got Jeff Byers at your right guard. And you know, that's a situation that could be in flux, you know, the remainder of the season, trying to figure out and solidify that right guard spot. That's right where that critical 4th down quarterback sneak went. So good job by both of those guys.
Yeah, they caught Julius Peppers also moving. He wasn't set, a little bit high there, got driven back just a little bit, which is unusual for him.
On 1st down, it's Stewart. Again, Briggs with the initial penetration. And then Nate Collins comes in to help out. Negative just 1 for Jonathan Stewart. Had that 9-yard run moments ago, but only 12 yards on 9 carries.
Only 9 carries, but you can't get discouraged as a running back, especially against this Bears defense. These guys are going to run to the ball. They're going to make you earn everything that you get out there, but you got to just keep pounding and hopefully break one.
Second down and 9. Newton out of the shotgun. Sets up the screen to Stewart. And Stewart has a 1st down and more down to the Chicago 23. A 360 by Cam Newton. And then the screen pays off as Stewart gains 15. It's a right slow to get up.
And Lance Briggs, both of them. This is pretty athletic by Cam Newton here. Kind of hard to find Jonathan Stewart. A lot of trust in there to get that up over the top and get it downfield. And you can see the collision down there. Charles Tillman, major right. Lance Briggs, all coming in on Jonathan Stewart.
You got DJ Moore, also the corner on the outside. I mean, he stops and hesitates when Cam gave him that little bit of a fake. If he would have kept coming, he might have had a sack on that play.
Briggs and Wright both remain on the field. From the Bears 23, Newton fakes the inside handoff to Tolbert, throws to the outside, and Jennings thought he had a shot. Pass intended for Steve Smith.
Oh, he got away with that decision right there. He stared this one down the whole time, and Tim Jennings was just waiting for it. And this is a long throw.
How about that break on a ball? Look at that.
He's in front of Steve Smith.
Like Jennings knew the route just as good as Steve Smith did.
Jennings with 4 interceptions, Goose, this season, tied for the league lead. They all came in the Bears' first 3 games. 2nd and 10. Panthers empty backfield. From the 23-yard line. Newton to the tight end, Olsen. Greg Olsen down to the 13-yard line of the Bears. Close to another first down, and Olsen did in fact.
Yeah, we're starting to see some of the power formation. Here's Ben Hartsock out here. You've got Greg Olsen on the outside. There's Mike Tolbert right there, but we're going from an empty formation. So you bring that personnel in. They've committed to some too tight personnel groups here early in the game. They get Greg Olsen outside, matched up against the linebacker, run the quick slant.
Angelo Williams will take the snap. Second time we've seen this from the Panthers today. And Williams forces his way inside the 10, down to the 9 for a gain of 4.
You know what? I'm going to take D'Angelo Williams, and I'm going to give him some opportunities running from the halfback spot now, because he's making some yards when there's not a whole lot there. That's the second time we've seen this Wildcat style of play. Watch, this is defended well by Chicago, but D'Angelo Williams is making some yards when there's not a whole lot there.
Not this time. Shane McClellan, the rookie out of Boise State, comes unblocked.
Well, we got him a shot to carry the ball from the tailback spot, but somebody needs to block this guy right here. He gets inside Greg Olsen, takes a hard inside charge. That's a big play right there to force a 3rd and long.
Yeah, Gary Williams went on the pull and just nobody filled there to seal that backside.
16th play of this drive for Carolina. 3rd down and 10. Newton to the end zone looking for Murphy. And the Panthers will send out the field goal unit. Bears have turned the ball over twice. Jay Cutler's been sacked 4 times. Hands it off to Matt Forte on first down, and Forte takes it out to the 29-yard line for a gain of 9.
Yeah, and there's a good, solution to the issue that's been happening during the course of the game up to this point. They've had a difficult time throwing the football, so just turn around and hand it to Matt Forte. You look at Jay Cutler under pressure today.
Back 4 times and only 8 dropbacks. Cutler 3 for 4. Second down and 1, and Forte picks up a first down to the 34.
Now, this is just the front of the Carolina Panthers. They are not overloading sides with blitzes. They're not doing anything crazy schematically, and they've been getting back to Jay Cutler. There's the last turnover there. Opportunity for points, but it's been a tough day in the pocket for Jay Cutler.
Cutler back on first down. He throws, and the pass incomplete. Intended for Marshall.
Interesting hand position for Brandon Marshall on that one. He had him reverse of what I would have done. I would have reached out for it. Let's see his hands at the top of this. You're coming inside. I would have turned him to the quarterback. He's got him kind of turned away from the quarterback. Interesting. Must have felt some safety presence coming. Haruki Nakamura was playing that deep half, maybe worried about a big collision.
2 receptions for Marshall today. Cutler only 3 completions. Second down and 10. Cutler moving to his right. He throws, and again it's intended for Marshall. Captain Munnerlyn on the coverage.
I'm impressed by the Carolina defense, Tony. They're playing well this afternoon. This is a tough assignment for Captain Munnerlyn. You're 5'8" against 6'4".
Nice play action also. Some of the guys bit, but everybody stayed with their receiver downfield.
Negative 7 yards passing. Let's get it to Forte.
Out of the shotgun on 3rd down. Cutler over the middle.
Yeah, it's going to be
And there is a flag. Not a surprise as Forte was knocked down.
Appearance.
From the 38, it's Forte. Knocked out of bounds by James Anderson at the 41-yard line. Gain of 3 for Matt Forte, who scored the touchdown, which gave the Bears a 7-0 lead, but the Carolina Panthers have scored the last 13 points. Ron Rivera, drafted by Chicago back in 1984, played in 149 games with the Bears, including Super Bowl 20. Second down and 7. Butler's pass is intended for Matt Spaeth, and it is ruled incomplete.
He's got an opportunity to make a big play. Now, this is your tight end who's going to come in, and he's going to do a lot of blocking. So when he gets down the field vertically, you're going to lose him from time to time. And he's got an opportunity right here to make a big play. Releases, gets up the seam. Everybody kind of turns him loose.
He has his eyes on the ball. He just got to go and bring it in and cover it up.
Good job by Captain Merlin getting over there. Right as he was about to secure it, he knocked it loose.
See that ball out there, punch it out.
Third down and 7. Butler hit right after the throw. Sails out of bounds. The Bears will punt it away. How approachable was he back then? Did he wander into his office on occasion?
I would never expect to have seen him do Gangnam Style at any point during my career.
We saw that on the pregame a couple of weeks back. Screen pass intended for Jonathan Stewart.
Jimmy was more Lombardi style back when I was playing.
There you go.
That's a compliment to this offense today, because Chicago challenges you to be a patient offense, and they have done a good job here in the first half of taking what Chicago is giving them.
Stewart on second down. And that should take us to the 2-minute warning here at Soldier Field. Third down and 8 for the Carolina Panthers, who lead by 6. Penalty markers, free play for the Panthers as the pass skips short, intended for Brandon LaFell. So now third down and 3, Goose, following the penalty. Newton again out of the shotgun. Newton throws, and the catch is made by Smith. What a hit. Took a big hit after the play from Major Wright, but Steve Smith picks up 14 out of Panthers' first down.
I tell you what, he is a tough guy. He is a competitor. He knows he's going to get hit right here just because of the defense Chicago plays. You run the skinny post into the center of that field, you got a chance to get a big hit.
Now Newton hit, lost the football, but there is a flag. Covered by the left guard, Amini Solatolu.
They ran up to the line of scrimmage fast to try to get that play off.
Peppers and Jordan Gross. Second down and 21. Jonathan Stewart. Stewart found a hole and picks up 9 out to the 38.
Good play call by Carolina right there.
A minute 20 on the clock. Each team with 2 timeouts. Third down and 8. Panthers must get to the 46 for a first down as Newton throws. And it is ruled a completion to Steve Smith for a first down at the Chicago 44-yard line.
Toughness on the play earlier in this drive when he takes the big hit, and then just great hands there as he goes down to get it.
Panthers look to get the snap away quickly. We're under 2 minutes, so would have been a booth review, not a challenge. Bears were unhappy that it was ruled a reception, and now Newton slides to the 39. Strong game. Second down and 6 from the Bears 40. Carolina with 1 timeout remaining. Newton in trouble, gets rid of it, and a diving pick. A diving interception as Newton tried to throw it away. Tim Jennings with his 5th of the season. What a play.
You don't want to throw it to his side of the field the way he breaks on balls, Darryl.
Greg Olsen has just got to go get this. You know, he cannot wait for this ball to come. Look at him. He's going to wait for it. You're going to wait for it, and it's too late. He felt Tim Jennings coming. You have got to go to the ball in that situation. Tim Jennings, great athletic play to get that interception.
Need to go about 20 yards to get into field goal range for Robbie Gould. Cutler out of the shotgun on first down. Cutler moving to his right. He throws, and the catch is made at the 45-yard line by Marshall as the Bears hustle to the line. Now 25 seconds. Gain of 11. Down to 20 seconds. Cutler wrapped up. 5th sack for the Panthers.
Greg Hardy is having an afternoon today. Holy cow. Whether he's coming from the defensive end position, now they've kicked him down inside. Now he's coming from the defensive tackle spot.
Cutler on second down, hit, loses the football. So it is a 6th Carolina sack, and Charles Johnson comes up with it.
Wow, they are just, man, we talked about it earlier, Dow. Up front, 4-man rush.
And no timeouts.
From the Chicago 39, Newton to the outside for Olsen, out of bounds at the 33. So this would be approximately a 51-yard attempt. One final play, 3 seconds remaining, first half. Newton fires downfield, and he put too much on it. 6 sacks of Jay Cutler in the first half. Cutler hands it off to Matt Forte. Gains a yard up to the 44.
About the only thing that Carolina is doing today that has me confused is this kickoff thing they're doing. Now I understand that Devin Hester's back there, but you've got to be able to come up with a better way that gives you the opportunity to go out and play defense in a better field position scenario as you keep the ball away from Devin Hester than at the +40, which they've done a couple of times.
Second down and 9. It's Forte once again out to the 47, gain of 2.
You know what, Darryl, I totally agree. You know, the defensive line for the Carolina Panthers is just dominating. But one thing I'm surprised with Chicago's offense is Matt Forte. I mean, he is just, you know, running so well. I mean, he's really giving that defense problems, but they're not really going to him as much as I thought they would be.
10 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown for Matt Forte.
Open. 59.
Third down and 7. Cutler backpedaling, and then had the pass deflected, and it's caught out at midfield. There's a flag. Devin Hester able to make the catch. Cam Newton's numbers in the first half. Big play, 62-yard pass to Brandon LaFell. Panthers start from their own 6. Newton out of the end zone, and once again it is Steve Smith, his 5th catch today. Good for 18 yards and a Panthers first down.
That's an aggressive play call backed up in your own end here, your first drive of the second half. I like it.
It's one thing this offense has to do is get a little bit more confidence, take some more chances.
From the 24, it's Jonathan Stewart. Stewart bottled up.
Major Wright comes off the left-hand side. Identifies the run. Just does a nice job of tripping up Jonathan Stewart right there. Boom.
He came down from the safety spot, Tony. They kind of did like a 5-man front, which is when you cover the guard, center guard, and then you've got 2 defensive ends. The one defensive end in that formation was safety Major Wright.
Yeah, we have to keep an eye on Jonathan Stewart because after that he did grab his right knee. So
Stewart out, Tolbert in. Second down and 11. 3 receivers set for Carolina. Pass is caught by the tight end, Ben Hartsock, who picks up a first down and more. That is his first reception of the season.
It's one of the situations where we've been waiting for this, you know, the double tight end. Last year with Jeremy Shockey here, they were able to do some different things with the 2 tight ends. There's Greg Olsen, number 88. It's a double release. He's getting funneled down. They lose Ben Hartsock underneath. This is a nice catch and run right here. They've got to give Ben Hartsock and Gary Barnage an opportunity to show them that they can make plays in a 2 tight end formation, because it was a personnel group that last season this Carolina offense had some good plays on.
So Hartsock, a 9-year veteran, gains 25 yards. D'Angelo Williams in the backfield. He takes the handoff from Newton and stumbles.
Right there, I think he's so concerned about ball security against this Bears defense. He's got 2 hands on the ball, and he's unable to make a quick cut to get away from Byron Bell, who's getting shoved back into the backfield, trips over his feet.
That was Williams' 4th carry today. 2 of the 4 came when he took the direct snap out of a Wildcat formation. Second down and 11. The tight end Olsen split out to the left. Williams remains in the game for Stewart. Again, it's D'Angelo Williams. Dives forward. Gains a yard. D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. Think back to the 2008 season. Williams set a franchise record. Over 1,500 yards. First set of teammates in league history to both gain 1,100 on the ground, but not really able to get things going this year.
No, it's been a struggle, and it was an area last year where they were still able to function in that dynamic, and it's to the point now where the Carolina Panthers are looking at the situation, and maybe we don't go running back by committee, we commit to one of those guys.
3rd down and 10 with Tolbert in the backfield. And Newton finds Tolbert, and Tolbert makes a couple of nice moves, picks up a first down.
Barrow, was that a fullback making moves?
That's some nice feet for a big man right there.
Tolbert does a nice job. Come on, talk us through it, Darryl.
I mean, he's a couple of sandwiches away from being a guard, and look at those feet. I mean, that is some nifty footwork through the middle of the field. And now this is a very, very good tackling defense.
Woo! Look at that shuffle. Getting vertical, protecting the ball.
What kind of sandwiches, Darryl?
Man.
It doesn't take much there. He's close, Kenny.
He gains 16. And now D'Angelo Williams picks up another Panthers first down inside the Chicago 20. So first it's Tolbert for 16, and now Williams gains 17.
And that is the difference, in my opinion, between Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams. I think that big play threat in the running game is always there with D'Angelo Williams.
I think both of those guys, D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart, the more they carry the ball, and as the game goes on, they get better and better. It's when you go away from them and have long stretches where they're not getting the ball at all, that all of a sudden, you know, they got to get back in a rhythm again. There's a lot of, a rhythm has a lot to do with the momentum of a running back.
On first down, it's Williams. He saw Stewart nodding his head affirmatively on the sidelines. Looks like ready to come back in, has his helmet on. Yep. Here he comes.
Here he comes right now. And you know, one of the things, Tony, about these 2 running backs, and you talked about this earlier, when you're running the option and you're running that read keep, you limit what they can do from a cutback standpoint.
Absolutely.
And it makes it hard on those 2 guys. So when we've seen these runs today with D'Angelo and Jonathan, you know, it's more traditional style runs when they're having their big plays.
Stewart back in the game, 2nd down and 9. Fakes the inside handoff to Stewart, and then looking for Brandon LaFell. There is a late flag.
Yeah, that's going to be helmet to helmet on a defenseless player, and Brandon LaFell is still down.
First and goal from the Chicago 9, following the penalty. Stewart and Tolbert in the backfield. Murphy in motion. This is Stewart. Jonathan Stewart gains 5 yards down to the Bears 4.
Cam Newton talked about going up against the Bears defense earlier in the week, and he understands how this defense is structured. You know, they play very, very sound. They don't do a lot of different things, but what they do very well. They challenge your patience, and this offense has had great patience today in taking what Chicago has been giving them and not trying to force things and make something happen that's not there.
Cam Newton not trying to do too much today.
Exactly. Let the players around you make plays for you.
10th play of the drive started at their own 6-yard line. Newton on 2nd and goal. Incomplete, intended for Smith.
But we've got evidence of it. We had a 16-play drive in the first half. We're in the midst of a 10-plus play drive right here. That's great patience and understanding of what you have to do against this Bears defense to have success.
Well, down here also, this Bears defense not only has to worry about pass rush and coverage, they got to worry about Cam Newton with the ball and deciding to go and run in this play.
Third and goal from the 4. Newton throws. And again, it's Jennings with the coverage on Smith.
Tried to force that one, Darryl.
Bears, Carolina Panthers leading the Chicago Bears 16-7. Bears start from the 41-yard line as Cutler's pass is short, looking for the tight end, Matt Spaeth.
But you know, I'm still confused about this kickoff approach, Tony, because this is the third time we've had him out beyond the 40-yard line to start a drive. That's not asking Chicago's offense to do a whole lot. I mean, they've been fortunate that Chicago has just been really, really struggling this afternoon on the offense. Brian Murphy continuing to choose to do these certain kicks. And on the last one, you know, Chicago's onto it. They've got running backs and secondary type players in that second level. They don't have the big defensive linemen and tight ends in it.
Hey, you put a lot of pressure on that defense. All you have to go offensively is probably like 25 yards to be in field goal range.
And the Panthers defense has come up big as Cutler takes off. And he is tackled by Luke Kuechly at the 45-yard line. Gain of 4. Kuechly, the first-round pick out of Boston College, won the Butkus Award last season. Very appropriate to mention that here in Chicago as the best linebacker in all of college football.
Yeah, and he's kind of slid into that middle linebacker position now with John Beeson going on to IR, coming off the weak side linebacker spot and moving inside, and it's a natural fit for him. And even Ron Rivera said, you know, he looks very, very comfortable in that middle linebacker spot now.
Spotted some Butkus jerseys in the crowd today. 3rd down and 6 for the Bears, who trail by 9. Must get to the Carolina 49. And they cannot, as Hester is unable to make the catch.
This is a huge drop by Devin Hester because this Bears offense finally has an opportunity to make a play to get a first down. They've been struggling all afternoon, and you've got to make that play.
Now Cam Newton and the Panthers go to work from their own 12-yard line. A handoff to Jonathan Stewart, stays on his feet. Hard to bring him down.
And he went 5 yards after he got hit. He just kept driving, and they kept pushing the pile.
Stewart out to the 18-yard line. Gain of 6 as we approach 5 minutes remaining. Third quarter here in Chicago. 5-1 Bears, 1-5 Panthers, but it's Carolina leading by 9.
And that's the type of run by Jonathan Stewart on that last play that's gotten him the majority of the snaps the last couple of weeks. Ron Rivera really likes that toughness.
Second down and 4. Quickly out to Steve Smith. Able to get back up. Just shy of the marker, brought down at the 21. Time for a game break with Kurt Menefee. Kurt?
Well, in England, the Rams scored the first 7 points of the game. After that, it's been all Patriots. Brandon Lowe had 2 touchdown receptions, including that 9-yarder. 38 unanswered by New England. They lead it big in the third quarter. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Wow, thanks, Kurt. Big 3rd down and 1. Upcoming for the Panthers. the option, picks up a first down. He hasn't done much today, but he's been effective when he has. And we talked earlier about the decision-making. Players, coaches we've talked to feel that maybe the team has put too much on his plate over the first 6 games.
But I think you need to put this one on him. This is a straight-out quarterback run. You know, you get a favorable number count. You're going to drop that 8th guy down into the box, but when you have a running quarterback like Cam Newton, you still have the ability to block that 8-man front and have everybody accounted for.
So good job there by Newton as the Panthers move the chains. From the 28-yard line on first down, play action, and then Newton fires downfield for Smith, who goes up and comes down with the football. A spectacular catch by Steve Smith at the Bears 25, a 47-yard completion.
He is just having a phenomenal day. I mean, this is, again, it's good coverage by Tim Jennings, but look at the ability of Steve Smith in tight coverage, hand checking all the way down the sideline. And just great concentration. We've seen that play. The skinny post where he took the big hit. I mean, Steve Smith, it doesn't matter what route you're running, what type of pass you want to throw. I mean, he can go get it and go get it done.
118 yards for Smith on 7 receptions. From the 25, it's D'Angelo Williams. Not much as we approach 2 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter. And we've talked about it throughout the day. Bears, good field position. Can't move the football. Panthers,
Bad field position.
Horrible.
Start deep in their own territory and are able to move it down into the Bears half of the field.
Which is a shocker to me, Daryl, because when you're a good defense and you have an offense backed up, there's only so many things, and they press a little bit offenses, and you know they're going to throw short passes, and you can break on things and make things happen. But I'll tell you what, you got to give it to Carolina's offense, being able to go and run and pass the ball and get out of that hole that they dug themselves into.
Newton had that pass batted down.
Well, I think that offensive coordinator Rob Chudzinski did a great job of getting this message across this week as they got ready to play against Chicago. It's winning the game that's the important thing. It's not winning each individual play. And if you come in with that mentality, then you're going to be in a position where you're going to play smart. You're going to take what the Bears defense is giving you. They've taken some shots down the field when they've gotten one-on-one, and those have paid off with a couple of big plays. Steve Smith, Brandon LaFell. But most of the afternoon, very patient.
Newton on 3rd and 10. Another pass knocked out. Looked like Corey Wooten again. Bears have had the ball for only 13 minutes. As Cutler hands it off to Forte. Time for a game break. Here's Kurt.
Well, Matthew Stafford has been the offense for Detroit today. 2 touchdown passes, and then he runs for one on the bootleg, giving the Lions lead over Seattle 21-17 early on in the 4th quarter. Kenny Moose and Goose.
That's pretty impressive by Detroit. That's a tough Seattle defense.
Nice speed by Matt Stafford.
Empty backfield, 2nd down and 12. Cutler's pass is caught by Bennett. Has a first down. Earl Bennett to the Panthers' 44-yard line. And that is the biggest play for the Bears on offense today, 24 yards.
That's good play design right there. You see Jay Cutler, let's get into an up-tempo style right now and get up to the line of scrimmage. But they send one of the big tight ends down the seam and bring Earl Bennett underneath, and they dropped him in coverage.
Nice job also by Brandon Marshall with the block downfield to release Bennett, get him a couple extra yards after the catch.
From the 44. Cutler fires. It's Bennett again. Cutler, Bennett, teammates at Vanderbilt. And here in Chicago. 1st and 10 for Chicago from the Carolina 33. Play action. Cutler with time. Throws throws and the pass is caught for another Bears first down. Is Brandon Marshall, gain of 13.
Cutler, completely different quarterback when he gets time back in that pocket, Darryl.
And he's had the opportunity to throw on time. Big play action right here. Again, it's a single route. Brandon Marshall's the only guy out on the route, Tony.
Yeah, they got max protection in there. If that's what it takes, keep running one-man routes, I guess.
Cutler 3 for 3 on this drive. At Forte. Down to the 19, gain of just 1.
The big thing, because they've had so many 3-and-outs, Tony, they haven't been able to get in any type of rhythm.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that was the thing you saw on this drive. You saw Jay Cutler at the start of it. Let's go, let's get moving.
Yeah.
And because they haven't been able to convert on third down, they just haven't been able to establish that.
You can feel it down here on the field.
Cutler on 2nd and 9, swings it out to Forte, but Thomas Davis is right there to make the tackle, and Forte loses 3 yards. Bears have not been successful on third down today. Cutler to Forte. Let's get to the 10 for a first down. He's tackled at the 15. Here comes Robbie Gould down the Bears field goal unit. Though it remains a 12-point Carolina lead. Start from their own 23 as Newton swings it out to Brandon LaFell. Back on the field, took the helmet-to-helmet in earlier, and LaFell gains 8.
Yeah, good to see Brandon LaFell back on the field. Had that big play early in the game.
With that completion, Cam Newton over 300 yards. Second time this season, 5th time in his career. On 2nd and 2, it's Stewart. Wrapped up by Melton. Looks to be just short. 3rd down and 1 upcoming for Carolina.
We talked about at the top the different offensive line combinations for the Carolina Panthers. This is their 5th one in 7 games this season. They've gone ahead and they've kicked Byron Bell back out to tackle, brought Jeff Byers in at right guard, and you know, we got to kind of pay that off. And they have played well against a tough front 7 of the Chicago Bears. Hasn't been pretty at times, but they've been staying on these guys and pushing that pile.
They need a big push here on 3rd down and 1. It is Tolbert, and he looks to be just short.
Thought he was going to spin and get that first down, and then Lance Briggs came in and wrapped him up.
But Carolina 38 after the Bears defense forced a 3-and-out. Cutler set, up fake, throws, and it's a bit short off the hand of Marshall. For the Bears, only 117 yards of total offense today. They trail by 12. 2nd and 10 from the 38. Inside handoff to Forte. And Forte takes it down to the 35-yard line.
I'm hoping Mike Tice is committed to a 4-down possession right here, because on 3rd down, you know, you don't got to convert. You put yourself in a position where it's 4th and manageable. If you got a shot to get it, obviously take it. But I think the Bears are in 4-down territory right now on this drive. You saw the time of possession. Carolina has had control of the ball during the course of this game.
Normally it's the Bears who control the time of possession, 3rd best in the league. 3rd down and 8. Cutler's pass caught by Marshall for Chicago, 1st down for the Carolina 25-yard line. And Marshall comes up limping.
That's a big loss in this situation right here. I mean, Brandon Marshall has been the one guy on the outside that's been making plays. Everybody goes vertical, and that leaves Brandon Marshall all alone down in that linebacker level.
First time the Bears have converted on 3rd down in this game. 9 minutes to go. fourth quarter.
Hey, single. Gang.
From the 25 on first down, it's Forte. Gain of 2.
Looks like Jay Cutler on that play opted to audible out of the play, go to a run.
Brandon Marshall returns.
Take a look at the end of that play on the tackle. Prior to Brandon Marshall limping off the field. See Thomas Davis on the tackle, kind of gets on that heel.
Earl Bennett in motion. Second down and 8. Cutler's pass is caught by Forte. For another Bears first down to the Panthers' 13-yard line.
Ball's coming out a lot faster than we saw in the first half there.
Yeah, I like that play design too. You've got Brandon Marshall who's been making all the plays on the outside. Use him as a decoy, especially since he's hobbling a little bit out there with that ankle.
Yeah, and you frustrate that defensive line a little bit.
Cutler's in a rhythm. Here's 6 of his last 7. Michael Bush in the backfield. He takes the handoff from Cutler. And Bush brought down hard at the 12.
That's a heck of a tackle by Charles Godfrey because he's given up a lot of sides to Michael Bush. He comes down, and that's just a nice form tackle. Fits him up face to face. Watch number 30 come in, step into that hole to fill it. Well done, Charles Godfrey.
7 minutes remaining. Second down and 8. Cutler, end zone. Helen Davis, touchdown.
He's one of the guys you have to be aware of. He's such a big guy that when you get down into the red zone, Kellen Davis has got to be one of the guys you want to worry about. One thing you have to do, challenge him on the release and not let him come off the line of scrimmage so clean.
I'll tell you what, Jay Cutler, when he sees Davis open, he drills that ball at him. Almost lost.
Fans on their feet here in Chicago. As Newton's pass is picked off by Jennings. And Tim Jennings takes it all the way for a Bears touchdown.
It took him all the way to the fourth quarter, Dow. But once again, the defense shows up. Look at his break on the ball. Boom. Eyes on the ball. Jennings does an incredible job of not only catching it, but finding the end zone.
Steve Smith's running a speed cut out.
Slides, yep.
Yeah, loses his footing on the break. It's a timing route. That ball is coming out on time, so when Steve Smith goes down, all Tim Jennings has to do is clean up that mess, take it to the end zone for 6.
A 12-point Carolina lead has turned into a 1-point deficit very quickly as D'Angelo Williams is tripped up, gains just 1. We talked about the close games the Panthers have been involved in this season. They led Atlanta late. Falcons drove 99 yards. Carolina led Dallas in the fourth quarter last week. Lost the game by 5. They had a 12-point lead in this one. Second down and 9. Newton out of the shotgun. Newton throws, and that pass is high, intended for Smith. And there's a flag as Newton was hit late by Henry Melton.
Yeah, he stood in there, took the shot.
Yeah, and they're going to make you responsible for your body in that situation, Tony, because you're right. He's trying to get a low turn on that corner.
From the 35. Newton being chased, moving to his right. Pass is caught by the tight end, Gary Barnidge. His first reception of the season. And Barnidge able to gain 7.
And we'll see if that instills some confidence in Rob Chudzinski with Ben Hartsock and Gary Barnidge making some plays today, to keep expanding this 2 tight end package. It was very successful for him last year when they had Jeremy Shockey. We've seen a couple of good plays out of it this afternoon. They've been on the field a lot, but now it's starting to make some catches.
Keep in mind that unsuccessful 2-point conversion attempt by the Bears. It's only a 1-point game. So a field goal would give Carolina the lead. On 2nd and 3, this is Stewart. Jonathan Stewart close to a first down.
No, it's just a great tackle by the Chicago Bears right there. Jonathan Stewart makes a good cut. He's got his shoulders square and everything. And I didn't see who it was, but a great tackle. Just stood him up short of that first down marker.
Here comes Mike Tolbert, fullback. Wouldn't be surprised if they gave him the ball down. Big man, drives his legs, low center of gravity. If I was on that defensive line for the Chicago Bears, that's the guy I'd be looking at.
Instead, it's Newton on 3rd and 1, and Cam Newton has a first down and more. Newton takes it inside the 40 to the 39. 16 yards on the ground for Newton.
This is a good play call for Carolina in this situation. I want to show you Mike Tolbert. Look at it. He's in a 4-point stance, the fullback in front of Jonathan Stewart. He's so heavy on his hands. You're thinking downhill run.
Everybody is, yeah.
Yeah, that whole Bear defense ran to the right side, and there was nobody out there when Cam pulled it away. Just a little technical thing by Mike Tolbert in that situation to really kind of bait that Bears defense into running hard.
So the Panthers inching closer to field goal range. Under 5 minutes to play. This is D'Angelo Williams up the middle, and Williams takes it all the way down to the 31. Time for a game break to Los Angeles and Patrick O'Neill.
Hey, Kenny, thanks. You guys got a good one there. And coming up next, a great matchup, America's Game of the Week. It's going to be the Giants and the Cowboys. And Kenny, Darryl, back to you.
All right, Patrick, we look forward to it. D'Angelo Williams, Ronald Dutt, Lance Briggs, Israel Adonijah, Nick Roach, loss of a yard. So the line of scrimmage, the 42. If the Panthers don't gain a yard on this play, it will be a 50-yard attempt.
And we saw them bypass a 51-yard attempt at the end of the half.
Third down and 3 for Carolina, trailing by a point. Here's Tolbert. And Tolbert with the push. Looks to have a Panthers first down.
Looks like he was stopped there, Darryl, and then he kept just driving. Gets across the first down marker right there. You see the yellow line. Look at this. Stopped right there, just keeps moving, pile. He moved that whole pile forward.
So a new set of downs for Carolina. Trailing by a point. They led by 12 earlier this quarter. Exactly 3 minutes remaining here in Chicago. Bears put up 13 points in 8 seconds to take the lead. Jonathan Stewart. And now a timeout is taken by the Bears. Second and 8 from the Bears 27. Newton for Smith. And Steve Smith unable to hang on.
Oh, after all the plays that he has made today, the biggest play he has the opportunity to make, he can't finish it. That tight window between corner and safety in this defense, he's got the one hand out extended, almost pulls it in. Great effort by Steve Smith.
Third down and 8. Newton under pressure, throws it away. Smart play. Did not want to get sacked by Melton and lose yardage.
Nice little game up on the front on the line of scrimmage with a defensive line.
He is 4 for 4 today. Out to attempt a 45-yard field goal. Medlock's kick off the right upright and good. He gets the bounce off the upright. Medlock 5 for 5, and the Panthers have regained the lead with 2:27 remaining.
Wow. Played the wind, too. He went right towards that left upright, and that ball came all the way across.
But how about being just mentally prepared and mentally tough on a day you've had 2 field goal attempts all season long, and you go 5 for 5 today?
Butler on first down over the top. The Forte, he's wrestled down by Kuechly after a gain of 5.
And one of the big things that's happened during the course of our game today has been the play of Carolina's front 4. They have been all over Jay Cutler and have dominated the line of scrimmage.
Cutler on the slant to Marshall on second down. Picks up a first down. As we hit the 2-minute. Jay Cutler sacked 6 times in the first half, 3 turnovers. Bears charge back to take the lead, now down by 2. Pass is caught out at the 45-yard line. As the clock continues to run, as Bennett is forced back, picked up 12 for a Bears first down. About 22 yards from field goal range. Here's Marshall. Kuechly wraps him up at the Carolina 46.
They must be giving him a lot of room on the outside. They just keep going back to the same play over and over again.
One timeout.
Up a little bit better.
Excuse me, Goose. 1 timeout remaining for Chicago as we approach 1 minute on the clock. Butler fires a bit high, intended for Earl Bennett. Our game summary with 1:04 remaining. Cutler sacked 6 times in the first half. Cam Newton has passed for over 300 yards. Bears returned yet another interception for a touchdown. That gave them the lead. And Justin Medlock of the Panthers, only 2 attempts prior to this game, 5 for 5 today as Bennett is replaced by Weems. 3rd down and 3. What a catch for a first down. Great catch by Brandon Marshall. Officials scurrying to spot the ball. From the Carolina 36. Now down to the 26. It's Marshall yet again.
They have just been in a rhythm, such a rhythm. You know, you mentioned what happened in the first half with the sacks and turnovers, Kenny, but the last 2 offensive possessions for Chicago, they have gotten into a rhythm, and Jay Cutler has played outstanding. He's 14 of 16 on the last 2 offensive series.
Well, welcome to those of you who have just joined us. Matt Forte takes the handoff from Cutler. With the Bears trailing by 2. Chicago will use their final timeout and send out Robbie Gould for a potential game-winning field goal. Adam Podlesh will place it down from the left hash from 41 yards away. This is for the win. Robbie Gould's kick is good.
That is a tough loss for the Carolina Panthers. Controlled this game for 3 of the 4 quarters. But hats off to the Chicago Bears and their offense with 2 great drives in the 4th quarter.
The Bears down by 12, midway through the 4th. Now 6-1, Carolina drops to 1-6. For Darryl Johnston and Tony Siragusa, Kenny Albert saying so long. Time for the Motorola Game Break Show to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.